LEGO sent me the Shrek Minifigures Series to review early. This releases September 1st for $5 with 12 minifigures to collect. This is our first ever LEGO Shrek minifigure, and the design I am not a huge fan of. First off, it comes down to this face at the front that I think is the biggest offender. It's the printing that just does not work in my opinion. Something about how the eyes are done specifically and the mouth not exactly helping. It looks unlike the character and almost like a bootleg in a way. But then you also see that this headpiece right here strangely has like a defined neck, and that side profile just does not work. It should have just been a round base going on there or something like that. If you look at the Fiona minifigure and compare her head sculpt, it's actually a lot rounder than the design here. There's no pronounced neck. So yeah, I don't think this works. The sizing with a minifigure is a little bit weird too. I mean, this probably should have been a midfig like, say, a Hagrid. Regardless, the design of the torso and the legs looks great. Like, I like the printing going on there. And you can see there's even printing down to the feet. And that goes onto the side. That's to illustrate his shoes. You can see there's side leg printing. And he also uses that skirt piece. That's a smaller skirt in tan for the first time ever, which that works really well too. Shrek's accessory includes the book from the opening of the first movie, which you can see has some printing on the cover. Inside you have the first page. That's a 1x2 tile print that says Once Upon a Time. And they also include another page which has Dragon on it. I guess you could say he tore this one out. The Fiona minifigure comes with Donkey as an accessory. For Fiona, I think this is another case where the face print just doesn't work for the translation of this character. But as I pointed out, the head sculpt's a little bit better. You don't have problems with the neck showing there as like a prominent, defined neck. The design of the hair braid is actually really well sculpted. I like how you could actually see the braiding at the back there. This is all one hard plastic piece. It does seem like it's dual molding. Interestingly enough, she does have an accessory hole at the very top. I wonder why. Maybe we'll see like a 4+ set of her or something like that. The torso has some really nice gold to it, but it's on that dark green base. And all the torso prints in this series are new, as goes with this leg printing right here, which is a dress design. Always nice to get that. And you can see the printing at the back of the torso. Donkey is made up of 2 separate pieces, and you can see that this connects to the body like, say, a mini doll head connects to a mini doll body, which, yes, you could exploit for cursed creations. There's so many other possibilities too. There's like the Slinky Dog combinations from the recent Toy Story set, or you even have Scooby-Doo. This is so much fun. Regardless, the design of Donkey, I think, still looks off, where the eyes and the mouth both look very strange, just compared to the design from the movie and compared to other LEGO designs. It almost looks like the mouth is like a mustache or an extended part of the muzzle going on there. The teeth are the same color as the rest of the snout, so it looks off in my opinion. The eyes, again, match that weird eye style that Fiona and Shrek have. This being 2 separate pieces means that you could rotate the head all the way around. And the sculpt for the sitting down body looks pretty good. Like, I like how we have the tail at the side right there. And then you also have this design of fluff at the front. And the design of the donkey head has that hair, which, yeah, that's a pretty nice sculpt too. We have Lord Farquaad, which the design has such a nice hair hat combo sculpt piece. I really like how that came out. I like how it's smooth at the very top as well. The design for the face, though, I think looks a little bit off. Like, I almost kind of wish we got a molded head for him or something, because he has such a distinct face shape in the movies. It feels like he's just a regular guy cosplaying as Lord Farquaad when you just look at the face. And also, here, it almost comes off like he might be a little bit too tan compared to the movie. Like, they got some skin colors wrong in this series. Regardless, he does have an alternate face, and you can see his torso has some great printing not only at the front, but with the side arms right here, which are dual molded. Love that, and that's present on both sides of these arms. LEGO did a great job there. And then also there's dual molded legs, which you could see are the short legs with a red top, black bottom, which would be good for Incredibles characters. And then you can see there's some back torso printing as well. Interestingly enough, he uses the older style cape that's like a paper kind of material. I know a lot of people like when these capes are a little bit softer, so that might turn people off from wanting this minifigure. And the Farquad minifigure comes with the magic mirror on the wall, which I love how they have that design with a minifigure head there. That's really adorable, and this has some nice printing around there. And that's just a shield piece, the design of which is stuck onto one of these pole pieces and one of those shorter 1x1 bricks with a hole connection. One of the strangest minifigures that I think oddly works is Pinocchio. This is very different from the Disney Pinocchio minifigure we got in Disney Series 100, which had the base of a minifigure head and they kind of modified it to have the Pinocchio nose. This one is just a completely newly shaped head that doesn't really look like a Lego minifigure. The sculpting here is insane. Like, you got ears at the side, you have that hair all around, which looks fantastic, and how they get the ridges and everything like that. And also you have this hat at the very top. Keep in mind, that's all just one whole piece. There's no separating any pieces from this very chunky head sculpt going on here. But yeah, the rest of the minifigure has some great torso and leg printing, which the leg printing is even on the side of the minifigure, and that looks fantastic if you ask me, down to like the shoe printing. And we also have some dual molded arms as well, which are really neat. Unlike the Disney Pinocchio, that nose doesn't work as an accessory, so no, you can't put it in existing accessory hole pieces. And Pinocchio is the first of 3 figures to have the 3 blind mice, the design of which is the same across all 3 of the minifigures, which do use a completely new sculpt, but I do wish that we had just even like a slightly different facial expression, even for one of them. That would have made this a little bit more distinguishable and more collectible. Dragon's a very strange choice for a Shrek minifigure. Like, she's rarely, if ever, bipedal in the series. Like, I think she's on 2 legs for like a second in the first Shrek movie. Other than that, you know, she's on all 4s. And the design here doesn't really translate too well into Lego minifigure format with just regular minifigure legs and everything. I think the color of this is wrong too, where she's way more red in the movies than this pink that's going on here. But hey, that does lead us to get a really nice recolor of that existing Dragon Tail Lego minifigure piece, which attaches at the hips just like that. And she does have a completely new headpiece going on here, which is a very interesting sculpt because the design has some rubber for these parts up top, as well as the spikes at the back. And that's just dual molded onto a hard plastic. I mean, I do like the shaping and the sculpt going on there. I do think the face of Dragon they got down pretty well. It's just like does not fit this specific format of a 2-legged Lego minifigure. Also, I wish that they gave her an accessory. It's really lame that she has no accessory. I mean, honestly, Donkey would be much more fitting as an accessory for Dragon than with Fiona. And they could have done other accessories for Fiona, but if they didn't want to do Donkey for Dragon, they could have just included maybe some gold coins, because, you know, she had all that gold in the first movie. So, yeah, it feels kind of lame that it's just the minifigure. We have the Big Bad Wolf, which I'm floored by this head sculpt. This looks fantastic, honestly, where they make it look like there's a separate piece for, say, the bonnet going on there, but it's all just one dual molded sculpt. The design of which has some great coloring where you have the pink right there, and then you have the base for the actual face. And yeah, the design of this face right here doesn't look as weird as, say, the Shrek minifigure face design. It does have different eyes and what you would expect from a Lego minifigure, but it works here. To me, this reminds me a bit of like somebody's persona from like the 2000s. Like, it almost has an anime cutesy-esque design. It's hard to explain. And then the design of the torso and that dress leg piece have those dots all over, even down to some side arm printing, which is very impressive. Really floored by the side arm printing in this series. You can see all those dots at the back right there. It's a very fun and creative minifigure. It's actually not the first big bad wolf we got from LEGO, as that one LEGO idea set, the storybook, had the design that was a little different. This is, of course, accurate to the Shrek movies. The wolf's accessory is one of the 3 blind mice, which again is the same design across all 3 of them. Just change up the mouth or something like that. Gingy looks fantastic. The design here could have just been lazy and used the same existing headpiece that they've used for other gingerbread men minifigures. But no, they made a completely new sculpt, which the one that they use for other gingerbread man minifigures has that little sandwich cookie design. This one just has the same roundness as just like a little disc design. I'm very curious to see how they use this in the future, because if you notice, this is another minifigure with an accessory hole up top. Regardless, the printing looks really good, though there are some slight printing for, like, you see the mouth right there where there's a bit of an outline going on that, like, they printed the color of the base of this specific minifigure. So it looks a little bit weird if you look super close, but that's not too big of an issue. And also, there's some great printing on the torso, the legs, and the side arms as well. Dang, now I really want a gingerbread cookie. And the accessory is this lollipop right here, which uses that sign attachment piece. You can see how that just has a clip at the back attached to one of those big pole pieces. And I really like how that print came out. That looks pretty awesome. For Puss in Boots, the design is not the first Puss in Boots we got before, because earlier this summer, we got Puss in Boots in the Shrek statue set, which is this minifigure to the left right here. And there's some interesting differences between the two. The one in the CMF series, you can see has the adorable pleading face, you know, when he uses his cute ways to get what he wants. And also you can see the torso lacks that little bandana part that is on the neck, well, kind of printed around that area. They still have that belt buckle. And then the legs for the one in the statue set were regular LEGO minifigure legs. The one in the CMF series are short minifigure legs, which is interesting because the short ones have some extra printing there to really define the boots. Also, this one lacks the rapier, which is this sword right here. And there's no cape piece as well. It seems like the printing is pretty much the same at the back of both of these minifigures for their torsos. And of course, they still use the same tail piece. I don't know if it's supposed to be up or down, to be honest. Now, the design of that head sculpt is very interesting. And I kind of wish that it was a piece like Pigsy's from Lego Monkey Kid, where you could put a minifigure hair piece or hat piece on it. But no, this is all just one piece. And because of that, you can't have Puss hold the hat like he does when he's doing the pleading face. And I really wish that they would have went around and, like I said, done a piece that's more like Pigsy's, where you could just put a hat on the top there. I think they could have done it with the shaping and everything, but whatever. The design here has a pretty lame accessory of this bag right here, which we've seen a billion times before, even in regular sets in this color. There is a separate piece with the hat, which is this accessory right here, which we've seen for many, many years from LEGO. And then you also get the third of the 3 blind mice, which again, same design across all 3 of these. The fairy godmother translated really well into basic LEGO minifigure form. The design here has a fantastic dress, which I love the printing on there. You can see the silver that shines all throughout, which includes some side arm printing as well, which looks fantastic, as well as some back torso printing, as well as back leg printing. The design here also uses these fairy wing pieces, which we got, I think, initially in Series 8 of collectible minifigures. Don't quote me on that. The design coming in this translucent dark purple is exclusive to this figure. And she also has 2 different faces. You can see both of them are smiling, but one of them is open mouth, the other one is closed mouth. And I love the design of this hair piece, which is a completely new piece exclusive to this minifigure, that specific sculpt. Really nice shaping going on there, and I like the purple color that they use. This looks very accurate to the character she represents. She also has an accessory of her card that says happiness is a teardrop away. Well, this version doesn't say that because they can't print that small, I guess, but you do have gold lines to kind of note the writing. That's on a 1x2 tile. Then you also have this fairy wand right here, which you get an extra copy of as a spare piece with the figure. Most people, including myself, agree that Merlin is the character that you probably should have replaced for another more exciting character. A lot of people don't like Shrek 3. I agree. Shrek the Third is the weakest of the franchise. The design of this character, though, has some really nice printing all around, where we have some great side arm printing, some side leg printing, which the leg printing in general just goes hard. I mean, look at this. It's kind of crazy. Like, you got his sandals and everything there. Maybe it goes too hard, though, because if you look super close, you'll notice how the printing for the flesh right there looks a little bit weird, because they have to print on both dual molding, like top and bottom of this minifigure. And what you end up getting is a little bit of a crack in the paint. You can see it shining in this light right here. So yeah, that does admittedly look a bit off, but I do like the sandals that they capture on here. That all looks pretty cool. The design of all that printing, though, with the side arm printing, I'm really impressed by. You even got some back torso printing. But I think my favorite part of the printing is the hat. The hat looks really cool. I mean, it's an existing piece, but it fits really well. You got that gold shine going on there and everything. So yeah, they make up for a pretty boring character with some really nice printing. Unfortunately, his accessories are very boring. They just give him power blasts in blue, which have come in so many Marvel sets with Iron Man in the exact same color. I mean, he has like a spell book and stuff. You couldn't have included that as well. Just something. The design for the face print underneath looks pretty good. It is one-sided, but that could be used for different characters and things like that. One thing is, with this design, I wish we got a new beard piece. I mean, there's no new pieces with this minifigure, so it shouldn't have hurt the cost too much. The design of his beard is extremely long in the movie, so it feels like this doesn't really accurately portray the character. Prince Charming is the other Shrek the Third character, and you're like, wait, he was in Shrek 2. What are you talking about? Well, no, this specific outfit is from Shrek the Third. He had different outfits in Shrek 2. So yeah, this was tied into those. I would have preferred one from Shrek 2. Like, I like the gold outfit towards the end with the celebration or whatever. The design also looks a little bit off for him because, first off, he has a regular minifigure head, and kind of like Farquad, I think the sculpting of his head with like the chin and everything is missing here. But also, I feel like the skin color is really off for him. Like, he's much tanner in minifigure form than he is in the actual movie. But hey, I mean, these were approved by DreamWorks, so who knows? Maybe I'm off and the official renders actually are closer to this tan. The design of this hair piece is really nice because this is a Han Solo hair, but it's the first time we're getting it in what I believe is the ochre yellow color, which was introduced last year. The torso, even if it is from Shrek 3, looks really good in its printing, which does continue on to the arm printing, which looks nice with that silver and gold shine going on there. Got some back torso printing as well with some of that gold shine. And you do have dual molded legs, which the dual molded legs look good with the printing at the front of the figure. More gold shine to it. No side leg printing. And he does have an alternate face where he looks really angry. His accessory is this sword, which is really common in this color. Like, they should have done a much more interesting accessory. And finally, we have Thelonious, a character from the first Shrek movie who didn't have the biggest role, but really left an impression. I love that we have him as a minifigure. Not only is he a really fun character, but we never get Lego executioners. Like, the only one I can think of is the one from that Hagrid's Hut set. So yeah, the design here has this really awesome new hood piece, which is a hood piece. You can see there's no printing for the black head underneath there. But yeah, you could put this over regular minifigure heads and it works really well. And I can't wait to see this like recolored and things like that. There's also this accessory of a 1x3 tile that says "Aw," which is one of the cue cards, which was a little gag from the first movie. That's awesome. The torso and legs are simple but extremely effective. I mean, yeah, this looks like the torso and legs of the character from the movie. You can see the legs are dual molded, which the printing at the front looks nice there as well. You even have the Farquad logo on that belt-esque design for the top of the hip. And yeah, that looks like the Facebook logo. and the arms are dual molded in this specific color with no printing on it. So yeah, that's super useful. He also has a second accessory, which is this microphone right here, which is a reference to the DVD bonus feature. What is it called? Shrek's Karaoke or something like that. So it's kind of crazy to have such an obscure thing referenced here. One thing to note is that the minifigure plates of this series are just the plain black that we see with most LEGO minifigure series. I'm amazed they didn't go with green. I mean, we just got a lime green with the animal series earlier this year. Would have been nice to get that again. And Dragon is actually the character popping out of the checklist. But yeah, this is a pretty standard checklist. I remember for a few series they did like a preview of the next series. There's no teaser or anything like that. So overall, this series is a mixed bag to me. There's lots of hits, but also some misses, but the misses are pretty important characters. Shrek, Fiona, Donkey, and Dragon all look off. And I'm not saying they couldn't translate into LEGO minifigure form, but the versions they have in this specific series just don't work. However, a lot of characters do translate really well. I love how Gingy looks, I love how Pinocchio looks, I love Puss in Boots, I love the big bad wolf, and I love Thelonious and the fairy godmother. Some of them are in the middle where it's like, okay, Farquad, they went really hard with that minifigure, but I think the face is just missing that sculpt of like that chin. But then again, like he's a human, so it's kind of hard to make a specifically molded head for a human, especially in 2026 for LEGO. Like they like keeping humans mostly to just a regular LEGO minifigure head. So I'm mixed in that regard. And then there's just some lame choices for accessories where you have a character like Dragon who just lacks accessories altogether, or a character like Merlin and Prince Charming who have very bland accessories. And then you have the instance of the 3 blind mice, which appear the exact same version across 3 different minifigures. So in some ways, it feels like they cheaped out on specific accessories. With all things considered, it's hard to rate LEGO minifigure series, but I will say I love a weird license like this. I love Shrek, but I feel like this could have been a lot better if you ask me, and there's simple changes to make this better. So yeah, this, I think, compared to last year's September series that was a licensed Spider-Verse, is a step down. Let me know what you think in the comments. Am I being too harsh on this series? Do you agree or disagree? Subscribe here for more honest LEGO takes, and I'll see you later. Peace out.